Hello everyone, I'm Chastity White Rose and this is Chastity's Chess Challenge. Today I'm going to be analyzing my own chess games, find out what I did the times I won, and find out what I did wrong the times I lost. Um, so Chess has a feature that allows you to download your chess games from the site in bulk and it's filtered by date. So I'm going to show you, if you go here and you go to export games, it lets you filter by all kinds of criteria, including what chess variants you want included. For the most part, you'll only want standard included unless you're trying to analyze Crazy House or Atomic or some other chess variant. But most chess software can't handle that, so I'm going to be sticking with standard chess for today's example. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using a program called Hierarchs to look through the games and analyze them and annotate them. But first I need to switch to desktop mode, desktop scene. So you'll see everything that's on my computer screen. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to be explaining this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to close the web browser right now because I'm going to be showing you I have some files that I already downloaded. I have some files I downloaded. Okay, we're going to go to 2023. This is the folder. So this is the folder where I downloaded all of my games from the year 2023. Now this file right here, Lichess Chastity White Rose 2023, is the original download. And if you look in this file, you'll see that it shows the portable game notation, or PGN, of each game I played, and it tells whether who won or lost. And I know what the results mean because 1-0 means white won and 0-1 means black won. So here's the thing you have to understand is all of the chess games that happened in the year 2023 are included. Now you have to understand it was near the very end of 2023 where I actually joined Lichess. So you have to understand there's not very many games here, and that's totally fine. But what I did is I have a little tool called PGN extract, and I wrote this little batch script. And here's how it works basically. This is a batch script I wrote. There's comments there. If you don't know about Microsoft DOS and batch scripts, that's a whole nother lecture for another day. But there's two commands here. There's PGN extract, and it has certain tag searches. I had to read the documentation. So it searched for any game. This first command searches for any game where the white player was Chastity White Rose and white won. And using a source database from the original download, then it outputs that same file name but with underscore white at the end. So that file will contain only games where Chastity won as white. And then the second one does the same but for the black. And so I have filtered my my wins and losses. Well, technically I only saved the wins, obviously. Because I'm trying to figure out what I did right in the games I won. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to analyze this. If we open up, let's first look at the games of white. If we look at the wins for white, we see the moves that were made. So, for example, this game took place on December 14th, 2023. A Chastity White Rose versus Fevum C. And then I can't believe somebody had this as their username. Just FB. I can't say that. Yeah. Okay, this is absolutely hilarious because I can double click on these things. Now, this is actually very interesting. Now, this was played against the AI. So I played against the level 3 Stockfish bot shortly after I joined Lichess. Very interesting. So this is me opening up in Notepad++. It's a text editor, but it allows double clicking links and going to them. Or let's see, right click. Yeah, you can. Very interesting. Yeah, anyway, the point is that if I want to look at these games, I can look at the move, I can make the move list and copy them on a real chessboard, or I could just double click the link here, and let's look at this game where I beat Stockfish level 3. We're going to double click on it, and then it's going to take us to the actual page where it has all the moves here. So let's see what happened. This was over a year ago. So I started with e4, the traditional move. King's pawn, then they did b6. Okay, let's see what happened here. I got my bishop out. I was doing, yeah, I did some stuff there. Okay, I was trying for scholar's mate, but then they stopped it. And then I captured the knight, and then the rook took it. And then my queen went there. Why my queen went there, I don't know. But then I went, oh, I see. Now I did that. So the bishop captured that, my queen captured that, and I wasn't even playing that good, but I started capturing their pieces, is what happened. And I was just attacking with my queen mostly. I traded queens, then I brought the knight out. I was playing kind of stupidly in this game, but it looks like at some point the computer got really stupid, just started moving the king around. I kept putting the king in check. I started, uh, I started, wow. Oh, I see. I had a disadvantage because because I was the white player and I was losing everything. Like, how was I playing so badly? I was playing very badly. This game was absolutely horrible. I played so bad in this game. Like, dude, what the hell was wrong with me? I hope I play better than this now. I sure hope so. Okay. Plus, I was against level 3 Stockfish, so I wasn't taking it as seriously as I do now. So there we go. I was slowly advancing my pieces. I got a queen, and see the opponent. That's so weird. Like, this is bizarre. I don't understand why I was playing so badly here. I must have been really messed up that day. But then I got these extra queens, and then instead of checkmating, I got even more queens, and then I checkmated. That was a horrible game. Like, dude, that was a horrible game. That was hilarious. That was very hilarious to watch, though. So I'm going to show you something else. Now, that was the way to step through that game um, just by double clicking the link and going to the website where it took place. But I am going to show you can also use other software. For example, if we can open this with ChessX, and then we can see the games here. We're going to see the games here. If we go to the game list, we can see who the opponent was. Okay, so here it is. This is the move list here. Now, we have this open in ChessX, which is some other software. It's free and open source. You can download it. and we can step through that same game, basically step through it one move at a time, or go to the end. We're going to go all the way to the end here, and that's how the game ended. So you don't even need a web browser to have to visit a link. You can analyze every game in a database using ChessX, which is not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea at all. And I really need to learn how to use ChessX better. But we see there were 8 games. There were 8 games in this database. This is from the year 2023. And interestingly, you know, I won these 8 games, but that doesn't mean they're always examples of good games. That doesn't necessarily mean that. So I'm going to show you some analysis. I'm going to be analyzing these. The idea is to go through these games and study them so that I learn from it. That's what analysis is, but analysis could also include annotation. So let's see here. So let's see, here's what do we want to do here. So here's what I'm thinking. Because this was the original export, and I'm going to check the comments. We have nobody watching the stream right now. That's totally fine. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test out a new program. I actually bought the program Hierarchs Chess Explorer, and I'm going to show this by I'm going to open that database from 2023 of White Wins. So here's what we're going to do here. I like the Hierarchs interface. I just love the interface. I think the interface of Hierarchs, the way it looks, even by default, is just better. It's just better than ChessX at this time. I also like the interface from Croissant, but it needs some improvements too. Hierarchs is nice because what I'm doing right now is it has features for analyzing with a chess engine. It does. And this is most interesting. So here's the thing. Now, okay, what does Game Explorer do? Oh, okay. When I take away the Game Explorer, then I want to be able to go to each game. No, okay, now this is another thing I like about this interface. Notice that every time I click on one of these games, the move list up here automatically changes, and I can click and I can go to a very specific move within that game. So here's the thing, guys. I want examples of good play. I want examples of where I actually played good. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. I already know from previous times that the playing against level 3 AI, I won, but I did not play that game well. So we're just totally gonna look through this game here. Now this is interesting here, and notice that it has actually that's kind of interesting. See this, let me explain something. See this opening book. Now the the opening explorer, how do I explain it? This opening book here, it has evaluations over whether the owners of Hierarchs thought that the moves were good or bad, whoever put together the opening book. And the questions and the exclamation points, I know what those mean. And I think it's important to take a moment and go to the help. We're going to go to the help file and we're going to search for symbols and we're going to go to move symbols, and the help file shows here exclamation point is a good move, question mark is a poor move, an outstanding move or a brilliant move is 2 exclamations, and a very bad mistake is 2 question marks. And then here's where it gets interesting, because exclamation question mark, it says an interesting move, but perhaps not the best move available. This can also be an enterprising move which deserves attention. Sometimes exclamation question mark is a temporary state for a move, as with more practice, its symbol can change. And then question mark exclamation point following it is a dubious move, probably objectively poor, but could be hard to refute, so has more merit than question mark moves. Now, this is one thing that's interesting. We're going to exit the help. One thing that's very interesting here is you can also choose a source for the opening tree. You can either use the local opening book, which is part of the program, or you can use the online one, but the results are still going to be pretty much the same. I'm not even sure where the online book is located. There's a lot about hierarchs that I don't know, or you can look at the database. Now, if you look at this database, if we use the database as a source, we see that all of these games started with E4. So all eight of the games in the database started with E4. And then, okay, yeah. So let me go back. So go back. I played E4 in all of those games. And then 5 out of those 8 times, Black responded with E5, the king's pawn. And there were times they responded with another move. And then there were times where my next move was bishop to c4, sometimes knight to f3, and sometimes queen to h5. For example, in this game, queen to h5, this is interesting. Then what happened there, and then the queen went there. So you can step through a game and see what happened, basically. But right now it's kind of messed up, because notice that these moves taking place are interfering with the currently loaded game. So that's kind of messed up, because we don't necessarily want that. Current game and database, Lee Chastity White Rose 2023 White was modified. Do you want to say no? We don't want to save that game, because that's what happens. That's the only problem, is that when you do this, you have a game loaded and you're stepping through the moves here. But here's what's crazy is, for example, in that example, I moved the bishop there. But what if I had instead moved the knight? So now you see it's created a new variation where the knight moves instead. So that's the end of that variation. So that move highlighted in blue there is a move that I entered, but that was not what happened in the original. So as we've seen, every time I click to a different game, it'll ask me if I want to save the changes, which I don't. So here's the idea of this. The whole point of this is I'm using hierarchs to view the games and step through them and see what went right, what went wrong. And in this database, I won all 8 of these games. I won all 8 of these games, but as previously established, I did not play very well in this game. It took me a long time to checkmate, and it doesn't usually take me this long to checkmate. This was a particularly messed up example, and in fact, this example here was so crazy. And notice that, let's see here, if I go to the game, let's see here, trying to figure out, see, I don't know the interface very well, because this one goes to the end of the game, this one goes to the beginning, or wait, this goes to the beginning of the game, in these steps through previous or next move. But then I don't know all the keyboard shortcuts, so I may not know what I'm doing in this exactly. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with this program. I bought it, but I love the interface, and so I'm going to be using it. Now, here's the thing, because I've already stepped through the game against the Lichess AI, and we go to the end of the game. It should not have taken me a rook and 3 queens to checkmate this king. And I made so many mistakes in this game. So this is not a good example of good play. It's not a good example. But I am going to show that you can go to a specific move. For example, if we go here, like where black moved their rook to e8, we can then right click it and we can add a comment like the rook moved to this spot, which is of course not very descriptive. Wait, oh, the move to this spot. Yeah, the moved. I can't even talk. Okay. But yeah, so you can go to each move and you can add a comment on that move. You can also add an evaluation symbol. You could, well, evaluation, other symbol, you can add symbols. Interesting. What does this do? Oh, how interesting is that? So let's go to this one and let's add a question mark. So notice that you can highlight, it'll highlight in red because it was added here. But basically you can add question marks or exclamation points to indicate what you think of a move, but you can also write comments. So that's the idea, is that you can do that. And so basically you can use hierarchs to provide commentary on your chess games. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be using this. But first I'm going to do that. There we go. I have no comments. All right, that's fine. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to this game against the Lichess AI. And I know that I played very badly in this game. So what am I going to do with this game? I am going to see game, and we're going to delete the currently loaded game. We're going to delete it. Delete a game can't be restored. Are you sure you want to delete it? Yes. We're going to delete that. So now there's only 7 games. Isn't that interesting? And now if we go here and if we go back, we'll see that there are 7 games that began with e4. So now that I've deleted the bad quality game from this list, it's better to remove games one at a time after reviewing them to make sure. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to the next game here. In fact, this might be the first game I ever played. Yeah, let's go to this game against C. So what happened in this game? What happened in this game here? I did e4, that happened, that happened, that happened, that happened. Okay, yeah, so far so good. You see what happened there? What happened, yeah, this is good, because what happened is black made a mistake there. By putting that pawn there, I just captured that with my pawn, and then they captured with the knight, and then I did that. And to tell you the truth, guys, that was not even the best move. Like, okay, like I'm looking at this, and what there's probably better moves that I could have done, but it is what it is. This is just gameplay. Let's see what happened here. Oh, and then I did that. And then I captured it. Then that bishop went there. and then my bishop captured the bishop, the pawn captured that, and then, so we see already that I had a slight gain in material. We see that I was one pawn up there, so that wasn't too bad. I defended my knight with the queen there, so I just traded down pieces a lot. Then, okay, that was good. Then I captured that rook. That's bizarre. Okay, then I castled. What happened in this game? Yeah, I just kept capturing things. And then, oh, my opponent resigned. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, is my opponent resigned there. Because it says I won there. So my opponent must have resigned, is what must have happened there. Because they had seen I had already captured almost all of their pawns. And that's interestingly, yeah, I'll go to verify for sure how the game ended, but I'm pretty sure they resigned there. So, but was this an example of good play? Was this an example of good play? That's the question. Well, I won, but me winning doesn't necessarily mean that I played good. I'm trying to keep my examples of good play. So look at, if we go back to the beginning of this game, we see that I traded a lot of pieces here, but I gained a pawn there, and every time that I lost a piece, shortly after I ended up capturing back an equal piece at the very least. And I was never really in a losing position in this game. Like, even though it's not what I would do now, obviously, because my playing style has changed, I was still pretty much winning at every point in this game. It was, so I'm going to keep this as an example of a good game. Very interesting. Now, because I'm trying to get into the habit of annotating my games, instead of just having this video, because in this video I'm commenting on this chess game, I'm going to go back to the beginning of this game and I'm going to comment on the moves. So let's go here. So we have e4, and we will add a, we're going to add a comment. Okay. When I first joined Chess, well, I don't need a long comment. Okay. King's pawn 2 spaces is the traditional and most common way for white to start the game, because it allows white's queen and bishop to both move out diagonally. So that's why the move was made. So we see now there is a comment there. It's very interesting that there's a comment there. Now, is that a good move? Is it a good move? Yes, it is a good move. In fact, Bobby Fischer said that it was the best by test. So let's add a symbol. Let's add an exclamation point indicating that it was a good move. And then what did our opponent do? They did that. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, then we'll comment on this. We're going to add a comment. Okay. Black usually replies to e4 by moving their king's pawn to squares as well, with the same idea of getting a queen and bishop out early. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. And then I'm gonna try something. If I click to another game, notice that as soon as I click to another game, it says current game in database lead chess Chastity White Rose 2023 White was modified. Do you want to save it? Yes, this time we do want to save it. And we saved it specifically so that when I go back to it, my comments are still there. So my comments and my exclamation point is still there. So that's important. So we can add commentary, we can add evaluations of the moves with exclamations or question marks. This is actually good. I like hierarchs because it lets me provide commentary on this very conveniently. And it lets me do it through a safe interface, because if I were to just use a text editor, I might make mistakes, I might mess things up. So I kind of like using hierarchs, but I could probably also use ChessX to accomplish the same thing. Okay, so let's just see what we have here. And the next move here was knight to f3. Yes, okay. We're going to comment here. Okay, moving the knight to f3 is a very common move for those who want a quick attack on the weak f7 square in combination with a bishop on c4, or perhaps a queen on on h5, or f h5 or f3. Yes, yeah, there we go. After the knight, on h5 or f3, after the knight has jumped to e5 or g5. Okay, I know that's kind of a long comment, but that's true. But moving the knight to f3 is a good move by any stretch of the imagination. It's absolutely a good move. It's using a lot of quick checkmate traps. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a symbol of exclamation point to that move. And then we're going to, we're going to save it. And there we go. So then let's go back to this game and let's try going and adding something. Then they moved their knight to c6. I'm just going to add an exclamation point. We're going to add a symbol of an exclamation point. Okay, and then what happens if I close the program? Yes, okay, so it has the same nagging message. So after making changes, I want to save the database. So now let's go back to the original file here, and we will see interesting. Okay, now we see that the date modified has changed. The date has been modified here. And now if we open up this file in a plain text editor, then we see that, okay, I like this. I like what it does here because it has all the PGN tags, but then what it does is after the moves, oh, that's very interesting. Now, I've noticed something. I've noticed that it has an oh, wait a minute. It has a $1. Is that what stands for the exclamation point? Yeah, instead of an exclamation point there, as I expect, it actually is, yes, it's using a $1 in place of it. I don't understand why Hierarchs does that, but I find that very interesting. But it does preserve my comments. It preserves my comments there. That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad at all. But it's just weird. So the comments are preserved there. That's very important. The comments are preserved. And I like this. Okay, so what I want to do is just as a quick backup, I'm just going to temporarily, I'm going to, okay, we're going to make a backup folder. Okay, so backup. And we're going to copy this file to backup, just in case we need to revert any unforeseen changes. So yeah, let's look at this. So if we open it in a text editor, we see these games and the comments that I added from Hierarchs are preserved. Very interesting. Interesting indeed. Now let me try opening the exact same file with ChessX. Let's open it with ChessX and see what happens. So, okay, interestingly, we see that the comments still exist. The comments still exist here. So let's go over here, and from the ChessX program, we're going to add a comment. Okay, knight to c6. Black's knight jumps to c6 to prevent White's knight from capturing on, yeah, on e5. Okay, that's why. And that is a good, let's see, very interesting. Yeah, okay. So yes, because that's why Black's knight jumps to c6 to prevent White's knight from capturing on e5. Very important to know there. And it's already labeled as a good move. So then let's go to the next move. The next move was bishop to c4. Okay, so for right now, let's add a move symbol of a good move. Yeah, good move. So it's a good move. So now what happens if we go to a different game? Oh, then it asks, right, when I click to a different game, it says a save game, Chastity White Rose versus Fevam C till, yeah, So do I want to save it? And I can even change information here, but I don't need to change that information. So yes, we'll click OK because we want to save that. We want to save that file there. Now let's switch to a different game. So if we go back there, now we see that it has the moves, it has the comments. So it has the comments that I added from hierarchs, and then also has the comments I added from ChessX. So now we're going to, for the following databases are modified, save them. Yes, we're going to save the database. Let's take a look at the database now, what it looks like. Very interesting. So, okay, there we are. And notice that it has that. And notice also that it, after the bishop to c4 move, it uses the dollar sign. The dollar sign, and yeah, that's cool. Yes, it uses the dollar sign 1, and so it shows an exclamation point. So the two programs are compatible with their evaluations and their comments. They're compatible. It's meant to be portable. And it's also, of course, possible to add evaluations in other ways by editing it with a text editor. So here's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to back this up. I'm going to back this up here. We're going to copy this file to the backup folder and overwrite that. Then I'm going to try a little experiment. We're going to try something. Let's go to a completely random move. Let's go to knight captures d8. What happens if I add an exclamation point to that? What happens if I do? I'm going to try that. And then let's see if I open it in ChessX, what is it going to do? Okay, interestingly, notice that the exclamation point is in fact there. Yeah, the exclamation point is there. So it recognizes it as an added exclamation point. That's actually very good. Okay. So you can just add an exclamation point after the move and it works. I found that interesting. Now let's try testing the same thing with hierarchs. Let's open this same file in hierarchs. And let's see here. Let's go here and okay, where was that move? Yeah. Knight xd8 exclamation point. So indeed it does preserve the exclamation point there. Interesting. And see, the file has not been saved in the program. So let's try something. I'm going to try something. What I'm going to do is we're going to go into hierarchy. Let's go to the very next move here, and let's add a symbol to this one. Let's add a symbol of an exclamation point to the next move, and then we're going to go to the one after that and add a question mark. Let's see what happens then. Let's try exiting the program and saving it and see how it modifies the text file. We're just going to see here. Let's see here. So it does, notice that now that it's saved it, oh, look at this. Now that it's been saved, it replaced the exclamation point with a $1 and for that, and added there, and then it has a $2 for a question mark. I find this very interesting. I'm actually surprised that it works this way, but it does work. It preserves it. It preserves it in such a way. There must be some kind of technical reason for this. I need to read more about that. But the point, though, is that it keeps track of the comments. So you can have comments on the value of the move. You can why the move was made, but then you can also put exclamation points or question marks with it. And I like to do that because I like the idea of if I know a move is good, putting an exclamation point, or if it's bad, putting a question mark. I understand that much. I'm still very new to chess annotation, where I'm studying the moves and seeing what's good. Now, what I'm going to do though is now I'm going to open this program back up in Hierarchs, and then I'm going to go back to this game. We're going to go back here, and we are going to remove the symbols. Yes, there we go. We're gonna remove that symbol. We're gonna remove that symbol and remove that symbol. But the symbols on the previous moves are still there. So now let's save that, and let's see if they're gone in the original text file. Yes. This is actually very interesting. This is cool. This is actually really cool. So yeah, we've removed the other symbols there. There must be some reason for this. Some technical reasons why it does that. I have a lot more research to do here, but I think I'm liking this. I've learned that I can use either ChessX or Hierarchs to use a program to add comments on the moves or add evaluation symbols to them. I like this. So now that we've made all the changes we want, I'm going to back this file up here. That's actually pretty good. That's actually good. So okay, that's very good. Okay, so what I did there is, for anyone who was watching, I tried using Hierarchs and ChessX both to manage a database that contained 8 games that I played in the year 2023. I won all 8 of those games, but I deleted the one against the level 3 Stockfish because I won, but I played very badly in it, and I did not wish to see that game again after that. And then I took the first game that was still remaining in the list, and I added comments on some of the moves at the beginning, and then evaluation symbols of how good I thought the move was. So I'm going to be studying this some more offline for a little bit, because I want to get better at annotating this. But this is just the start, because I'll be able to learn how to do this with my own games, analyze them, step through them, and decide by looking at it whether I played good or bad in that game. And then I can do it with other people's games as well, like my chess student Tam. So that's what I have for this video. I've learned a lot about ChessX and Hierarchs and commenting on my own chess games. And doing this level of analysis, the purpose of this is for me to study my own games that happened and learn what to do that's good and what to avoid that I'm doing in my games that's bad to improve as a chess player. And the world is my witness, because you can look at my Lichess profile, see if my rating has improved since this video. I'm just studying my games, trying to learn. And this is the best thing a chess player can do to improve, is not only play lots of games, but then analyze them. And by writing notes, writing comments of why I made a move, that will help me evaluate, should I make that same move again in the future? Or is there a better move out there? Oh well, so that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm going to stop the stream for now, and I'm just going to be studying a little bit about the PGN format. I also have plans to publish my fully annotated chess games on my new blog. I will be sharing the link to that in the future, but I started a blog specifically dedicated to chess. So thank you for watching, anyone who watches this.